learners, I, Priyanka Gupta, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Data Science at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. So, our today's topic is Introduction to Data Mining. We will talk about the subject data mining. So, the content we are going to cover today are why data mining, knowledge discovery process, KDD process, introduction to data mining, purpose of extraction, then data mining process, and many phases of data mining. Let's start. So, why data mining? That is the first question while we are coming into the introduction to data mining. So, data mining. There have been an explicit growth in the volume of data because of ease of storage, because of ease of data collection, because of more computerization nowadays of various companies and daily life. So, because of huge data volume, we are going to use data for data mining. So, what is from where we can take this explosive growth of data? So, the data we can have from the different industries, from where we can have this data from many sources, like we are having these type of data in business, related to science, related to society, and many more. So, why this explosive growth of data? Nowadays, it is coming around terabytes to petabytes. It is increasing day by day. So, that will be available by data collection and data availability from many automated data collection tools, database systems, web, computerization, society. So, what are the major sources of abundant data? So, these are some sources I have said: business, science, and society. From business, what are the data we are choosing? Web, e-commerce related data, transaction data from many points, stock market data, etc. From the science industry, what we are taking? Remote sensing data, bioinformatics data, scientific simulation data. From the society and from anywhere, we are using news data, digital camera data, and different social media channels data like YouTube and other. So, we can say we are drowning in data because we are striving for knowledge. So, why we are taking data? We are starving for knowledge. We are taking some new useful information from that raw data. So, we will take what is the data mining. So, data mining is the analysis step of knowledge in databases process. That is called KDD. Data mining is the extraction of hidden predictive information from large databases. So, what we call large databases? That is a huge amount of data. Huge amount of data. Okay. So, it is a great technology with great power potential to help companies focus on the most important information in their data warehouses. Here the term called data warehouses. So what is the data warehouse? I'll tell you. So data warehouse is the database system where we store some type of data like business data we can store there. So that is only a database system, not a database. So these are the some examples of data mining databases. So there are database oriented datasets and their applications. So what they are? They are relational type of databases, data warehouse, transactional type of database. These are come into the database oriented dataset and application. Another type of data are some advanced type of datasets and their applications. Like we can say data stream data, sensor data, time series data, temporal data, sequence data, that is also include biosequence data, structure data, graph data, social network and multi-link type of data. These are the advanced data. Object relational databases, that is also come under object advanced data set. Heterogeneous databases and legacy databases. Some type of spatial databases and spatio-temporal databases. Multimedia databases, text databases, and the World Wide Web databases that we call as Google. From Google, what we take data, that is comes under World Wide Web data. So these were the some examples of different type of databases what we are using in as a huge data set. So let's get into the data mining is business intelligence. We are using data mining in the field of for the data warehousing. So this is the graph. We can say in there the first will be the data sources. That will be the first point. So for DBA, database developer application, it comes like first he need to search for data sources. Then the data processing, pre-processing and integration part comes. And after that, we need to store that. So that we will need data warehouses. After that, the data exploration that comes. That steps comes. In that, some statistical summaries, querying and reporting type of things we are doing. After that, the step comes data mining, in which what we are doing? We are doing information discovery. We are searching for the useful information, so that we call as data mining. Then we will present it. We will visualize it. So that then the step comes data presentation. So in that, some type of visualization techniques will be there. So we can present that type of data. After that, for any business intelligence, the company is going to take the decision. After visualize that that data that is converted into information, and then it will be the visualized, and then we will take some decision. So that was the whole process. So what is KDD process? Knowledge discovery process. So this is a view from typical database system and data warehouse communities. So we can call data mining is a form of KDD. The process called KDD while doing any type of data mining. So data mining plays an essential role in the knowledge discovery process. Why? Because we are discovering for the useful knowledge. So this graph, we can see, this is the diagram. We can see here, we can select some data. So this will be the selection part. After that, we will search for the target data. So then we are going to pre-process that data. What is pre-processing? Pre-processing nothing but we have to make data as a we have to make raw data as a useful data. We have to take some useful type of data and only we can use that data. We can call as structured data. So now that structured data will be transformed for the pre-processing part. That will be the transformation part. After that, we will do the data mining. We will transform that data because we have to mine some data. We have to search data, search for the useful information. After that, we will going to evaluate that type of data so that we have to visualize that data in the terms of pattern. In the terms of patterns, we are going to visualize that. After that, we can evaluate that data as a term of decision making. So these were the process of knowledge discovery for data mining. So data mining is a non-trivial extraction of implicit, previously unknown, and potentially useful information from data. It is the exploration and analysis by automatic or semi-automatic means of large quantities of data in order to discover meaningful patterns, meaningful visualizations. So, what is the purpose of extraction? Data mining is defined as the procedure to extract information from the huge sets of data. In extraction, the information is not only processed, need to perform. It also involves processes such as data cleaning, data integration, data transformation, data mining, pattern evaluation, and data presentation. These are the steps, processes we do under the extraction. So we will take some examples for that. When all these processes will be over, we would be able to use this information in many applications. Like some applications are written over there: fraud detection system, market analysis, product control, and science exploration. These are the some examples where we will use these processes. Data mining process. So what is data mining process? Data mining is the process of discovering patterns from large data set involving different methods at the intersection of machine learning, statistics, and database systems. These are the some fields where we'll apply. These are the intersection of these things. Data mining is an interdisciplinary subfield of computer science and statistics with an overall goal to extract information from a data set and transform that data information into a comprehensive structure for the further use. So that was the whole process. So aside from the raw analysis step, it also involves database and data management aspects, data pre-processing, model and inference considerations, instance matrices, complexity consideration, post-processing of discovered structures, visualization, and then online updation. So these were the steps which also includes in the data mining process. The term data mining is in fact a misnomer because the goal of the extraction of patterns and knowledge from large amount of data, it is not the extraction of data itself. We have to remember that it is also a buzzword and it is frequently applied in any form of large-scale data and information processing, as well as many applications as computer decision, as support system including artificial intelligence and business intelligence. These are the two fields where we will use these applications. Practical machine learning tools and techniques with Java was original to be named just practical machine learning, and the term data mining was only added for marketing reasons. Phases of data mining. Often, the more general terms data analysis and analytics are, we can say, when referring to actual methods, artificial intelligence and machine learning are more appropriate. So, the actual data mining task is the semi automatic or automatic analysis of large quantities of data to extract previously known interesting patterns such as groups of data records, unusual records, and dependencies. This usually involves using database techniques such as spatial indices. Steps of data mining. These patterns can be seen as a kind of summary of input data and may be used in the further analysis. Like, for example, it is used in machine learning and for predictive analytics. The data mining step might identify multiple groups in the data, which can be used to obtain more accurate prediction results by a decision support system. The data collection, data preparation, or result interpretation and reporting is part of the data mining steps. So these are the few steps: data collection, data preparation, data interpretation we call, and reporting. These are the three steps comes under the data mining steps. History of data mining. So the related terms data dredging, data fishing, and data snooping refer to the use of data mining methods to sample parts of a large dataset, data too small for reliable statistical inference to be made about the validity of any pattern discovered. Earlier, we were using the term data dredging, data fishing, and data snooping to referring for the some data mining methods. But these methods can be used in creating new hypotheses for testing against the larger data populations. Now, we are using these type of methods for to create new hypotheses to test against the larger data populations. So, what is population? Data population? Population nothing but the data over the volume. Population is nothing but all the collected data. The term data mining was used in a similarly critical way by economist Michael Lowell in an article published in the Review of Economic Studies 1983. Lowell indicates that the practice masquerades under a variety of aliases, ranging from experimentation to fishing, we call as snooping. So, the economist Michael Lowell, he only came into the data mining field. He used first time the term data mining. So, what we have covered today? We have covered actually what is data mining, what are the different steps of data mining, what are the different processes of data mining while we are doing data mining for any information. So, actually, we will recap that all the things once. What was the data? What was the large data sets? The large data sets are nothing but the data available widely which are used by us. Nowadays, there are plenty of data we are using, like we are having some bank data, transactional data, some type of we can say social media data. We can have also companies data, business intelligence data. So all the data comes and is stored somewhere. So from that is a we call that is a raw data. So that type of data we can use as while we are using data mining process. So that data nothing but when we will going to use that as a useful way. So that data will be the that raw data will be the nothing but as a form of information. So that data will be from terabytes, and that comes under the petabytes. There are plenty of data, so that we can have from different social media platforms, from while we are using in day to day life, that our data, all the data as the raw data. So we are going to use that raw data in a useful way. So as I have said, we have many sources to use that abundant type of data. So what we are having? We are having e-commerce, where we are having Amazon, Flipkart. We are having some companies like Big Basket. We are also having Frajo. So these all e-commerce companies, what they are doing, they are working on some data. So that data are transacting and storing as a raw data. These data is nothing but as these data is the transactional data. So we are having these e-commerce data, web data. What is web data? What the data what we are using at Google and different type of websites we are using and transacting that data. Transaction. What is the transaction type of data? That data, that is the data while we are using in banking system. Banking system. We are having some stock market data. This banking system data and stock market data that comes under transactional data. Okay. Again, we are having some science field related data that is nothing else we are using for remote sensing field. We are having some remote sensing field data that also comes under this type of raw data. Then we are having bioinformatics data. In some of the bioinformatics industries, we are transacting this type of data. We are also having some type of simulation data that some scientists are using this type of data on their centers. Simulation data. Then apart from that, we are also using as a day-to-day life the data, as we are having some news data, digital camera data, YouTube data, etc. So that was the different channel to get that type of data, to understand that type of abundant data that are having in a explosive growth of data. So we have covered the introduction of data mining. So data mining, what was data mining? Data mining was nothing. The data mining was the process, step of knowledge in databases. That was nothing as KDD process. Data mining was the extraction of hidden type of predictive information from the larger databases. That is nothing but as a large data sets. We can also say data warehousing. While we are using data mining term, we only refer the data warehousing term because it is a great technology which is helping many companies to focus for their important information while they'll use add that data in a useful patterns, and they'll extract that type of patterns from the different data warehouses, different data sets. So we have covered these examples, like these were the examples. We are having some data sets from the some type of relational database systems and from the advanced data sets, which is nothing but from the different sources for databases. So this we have taken as an example for some field, like we are having this as a business intelligence field industry. So here the database analyst using the data from the different sources, and then he are going to pre-process and integrate that data, and then he's taking that data from the different warehouses. He stores that data in the different data warehouses. Then the data will going to be explored for the different reporting, querying, and statistical analysis. After that, the database analyst, data analyst, here comes data analyst. Then he is going to mine that data in a useful information. That is, he is going to use as a useful information. He will search for the information from the warehouses. Then the business analyst, what he'll do? He'll do the visualization. He will do the visualization. He'll use different type of visualization techniques to present that data in a pattern, in some type of pattern. After that, the end user, any salesperson, he'll take the decision. So this was the KDD process. We have completed that. In this, the data selection, pre-process, transformation, data mining, and evaluation is going on. Then this was the data mining definition and extraction of the data. So this was the some applications where we are going to use these processes. So this was the fraud detection analysis, market analysis, process control, product control, science exploration. These were the many applications where we are going to use these processes. So what was the data mining process? Data mining process is nothing but data process is the discovering patterns from the largest data sets, we can say data warehouses, involving methods, some type of methods at the interaction of machine learning, statistics, and database systems. So that is the interdisciplinary subfield, because here comes machine learning, statistics, and database systems. So overall, it is the subfield of computer science and statistics. So after that, we are going to use is an overall goal to extract the useful information from these data sets and going to transform that into a beautiful information for the further use. So these was the some steps we are going to involve that we have already covered. Database aspects, data pre-processing, models, interesting things in matrices, complexity consideration, post-processing of discovered structures, visualization, and online updatation. So we have to remember the data mining is only the misnomer, because the goal of the data mining is nothing but to extract the pattern and some good information and knowledge from the larger data sets that we can have from the data warehouses. It is not the extraction of data itself. So we can say that is used in the some applications for the computer decision as well as support systems. That includes artificial intelligence and business intelligence. So the actual data mining task was the semi-automatic and automatic analysis of large quantity of data that is going to extract previously known interesting pattern that is nothing but as a group of data records, unusual records and dependencies. So it is using only the interesting pattern, this type of interesting pattern. This usually involves using database techniques, some type of techniques that like spatial indices technique. So these patterns can be seen as a kind of summary of input data and may be used for the further analysis and visualization. Like we can have used as for machine learning and predictive analytics. So the data mining steps might identify multiple groups in the data that is used to obtain more accurate prediction results by the support system, decision support system. The data collection, data interpretation, we can say data preparation and reporting. That is the part of data mining step. Earlier, we are using the term data mining for the sales purpose, marketing purpose. But but after that, we are using these data mining terms as a field of patterns discovery, while we are referring the use of data mining methods as a sample part of large data sets that is too small for reliable statistical interference that is to be made about the validity of many patterns discovered. These methods used in creating new hypotheses for testing against the large data populations. So we also covered the term data mining, which was used by economist Michael Lovell in 1983. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.